Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. All the gentlemen who have joined us in the auditorium this morning. And a warm welcome to you, our family online. Whether you're watching us on Facebook or you're watching us on YouTube, just drop us a comment and say good morning, good morning, good morning. I want you to go on, and I'd like you to also share. If you're on Facebook, share across your page. If you're watching us on YouTube, copy that link and put it into your WhatsApp, put it into whatever social media channels you are using. My name is Llewellyn Oliver, and I am so blessed to be able to greet you this morning in the precious name of Jesus. I want to first and foremost, before we move on, thank my spiritual parents, Dr. Carl and Pastor Joan Hendricks, for this opportunity for us to gather, for us to be able to host these master classes. This is the second master class of 2021. In our first masterclass, we were privileged to have my dear friends Duan and Mervyn with us, and they shared insights on growing your network online, using tools to enhance your business possibilities and business opportunities. And today we're going to just go further, and we're going to bring that into the physical world. But before we continue, and I tell you a little bit more about our speaker, a real good friend of mine, I'd like to just ask those who are with me in the auditorium, as well as gentlemen, you online, won't you just close your eyes and let us just bring this morning before the Lord. Father, we thank you for an opportunity like this. Lord, your word has said where 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, you are there. So, Lord, we thank you that there's more than 2 or 3 of us right here, and I know that there's more than 2 or 3 watching and joining us online. So I thank you for your presence, your omnipresence that is with us in this auditorium, and that is with every single person who is joining with us online. I thank you, Lord God, that you're with them, that you reach them, and that right now, Lord, their hearts are prepared for what is going to be shared with them this morning, that their minds are receptive. I ask you, Lord God, to keep every man's mind, Lord, keep every man physically and mentally alert this morning. I thank you, Lord, for this opportunity, and we give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And all the legacy men in the house say, Amen. Well, gentlemen, it might be cold outside, but we are legacy. We are real men. This is real life, and we serve a real God. So won't you just help me welcome my dear friend, Mr. Victor Sibeko, to the pulpit. He's going to take the stage, and he's going to be sharing with us insights. He's going to be sharing with us the art of networking. I've had the privilege of working alongside Mr. Sibeko for a number of years on a school governing body, and we've had I've had the extreme privilege of actually growing and nurturing a friendship that I believe is a friendship that's lasting. Oh, we've gone on for much more than a decade already of friendship, and I can foresee it going a lot further, because more than just being an expert in his field, he is a man who loves God, and he is a man who loves sharing what God has placed on the inside of him with those around him. So, gents, won't you help me welcome my dear friend, Victor Sibeko, to the stage.
The program director, the brother, the colleague. You're my mentor as well. When I look up to you, and I really admire seeing you do the things that you do. And God is amazing because he gives us all these skills that we could exchange the expertise and what has been given to us. Ladies and gentlemen, those are attending in person, very beautiful morning, but very chilly. I know we can blame the weather for some of the gentlemen that are meant to be here, but watching from home, greetings to you watching from home on Facebook and on YouTube. I don't have to reintroduce myself. I'm here to talk about something very interesting, the art of networking. But I chose a theme, Mr. Oliver, as you say, I fear God and I love God. And the theme is God's answer demands your action. We often pray for things to happen, and then we come across situations where things don't happen. But there's something that we need to do. And this is one of the things that we need to do. As a people, if we want things, there's something that we need to do to get things. But we're here today through this masterclass to share with you how you can go about getting the things that you ought to get. Now, let's see if I'm going to drive this now. Okay. If you're to look at my first slide, there's an elephant. There's an elephant in the room. And we often say you can eat an elephant, but you can eat it a piece at a time. And this is what we're going to do here. We're not going to eat it a piece at a time, Mr. Oliver. And gentlemen, we're going to slaughter it and eat it now and finish it. Those that are here today are going to have a preview to get an opportunity to slice this elephant and eat it. And what is this elephant that we're talking about? PhD. You may think PhD is a final part of your doctorate, during which your main task is putting together your results and honing your thesis. That is now putting your opinion, putting your point of view, putting your proposals into a dissertation, and then you've got an essay or a study, you submit, it's marked, and then you are honored, you've got a PhD. But the PhD I'm talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, is pull him down syndrome. We have a problem as a people. We've got the tendency of pulling each other down. Somebody comes to you and say, hey, I've got a business idea. Say, what is it? I tell you, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to buy a vehicle. I want to register with SA Tourism. I want to transfer people from the airport to the hotel. I want to run tours to Soweto and the Kruger National Park. And somebody says, you're playing. Don't even go there. You won't make it. The person does not know what you are made up of. So immediately you put an idea across of what you want to do and what your dreams are, or what are your aspirations. Then you're told, somebody tried it and they failed. Gentlemen, let us kill this. As of today, those of you that I have privy to this presentation of this masterclass, it's about time. The pull him down syndrome must stop. Because that is what makes us not succeed in life. And the only way through which we can do it is for us to be aware of what is it that we need to do in order to succeed and kill this monster. Okay. Somebody might be listening and say, oh, really now? Is that what you're going to do? Yes, we're going to do it. What is it that we need to do? We need to step up. And we need to remedy the situation. And through this masterclass, Mr. Oliver, that's where we're going to start. And this is where we start. As of today, as of now, as of this moment, we need to do something about this. And the nice thing that I like about these masterclasses and this legacy men is that we're doing it within the church space. And we're doing it within the framework of knowing God and respecting God and honoring God and trusting God more than any other thing. Now, prayer only does not make things happen, gentlemen. That's what we tend to do. Hey, one day I'm going to catch the lotto. I pray to God. One day God will come down and clap you. Say, how do you win lotto if you don't play it? Wake up, go play it. And I want to bring a few things from the scriptures before I get to the real things that I'm going to talk about this morning. Let's look at Moses. Moses had a mammoth task to lead the children of Israel. And he got to the Red Sea. Just when he was there, there was a problem. How does he get across? And God says, go, rise to the highest point. Then he says, now what do I do? He has just said, God, what do I do? Help, give me ideas. God says, hey, lift up your stick and hover it over the sea for crying out loud. And Moses did that. And what happened? The sea opened. Let's look at Joshua. Joshua cried, he was beaten to the dust, and he battled to get things going with his fight in Jericho. And God said, hey, Munna, wake up. Stand up. Get your troops. Go around Jericho 7 times. And then something will happen. And guess what? They did. They did something. He didn't just cry and say, God, help, and nothing happens. Joshua led the troops, the army, and they rotated the walls of Jericho 7 times, and voila, the 7th time it opens. And they managed to get in with a few men, and they conquered. So, the same applies to us. If we're trying projects, we're trying businesses, we're trying to succeed in life, and we're not doing anything about it, we're not going to succeed. Let me also just bring in this one. Jesus walks into a place, in the Bethesda lake. When he gets there, he finds this man who's been sitting there for years, 38 years sitting there, and he's unable to get in. And then he asks, what happened? Each time the lake starts shaking and people jump in to be saved, and I'm left behind. I'm unable to get help. And what does Jesus say? He says, Emuna, fat all your heart ochutis. Stand up. Hamba. And it happens. So until we do something about what we want in life, we will succeed. If we sit back and say things will just happen by themselves, they're not going to happen. To all men and everyone else watching and listening to this, for us to succeed in life, we've got to do something. We've got to stand up, get out of our comfort zones, go out there and get something going. That's precisely what you've done today, gentlemen, that you're seated in this auditorium this morning. We have a Kasi idiomatic expression that says, "Uzoithola kanjani ohlele khona." If you pack there sitting at home and you worry there and you're fighting with the little ones for bread in the bin, and you're not thinking of anything that we can do to start making money, then you're not going to succeed. Even creating relationships, even getting that help that you need for you to achieve the things that you want to achieve. If you want to study, until you stand up and do something about it, you won't be able to achieve anything. So, what is your status? That's the question now. And by the time you leave here, the status would have changed. Okay? Are you single? Well, some of us are single. Yeah, no, not a it's easy one to answer. Married? Yeah, some of us are married. It's easy to answer there. It's complicated. Yeah, there are those complicated relationships, and some are in a relationship. So today, we're going to scrap the PhD status. Nobody is going to pull anyone down. They pull him down status should never, ever exist in our lives as of today. So we should not allow our circumstances to determine who we are and what we want to achieve in life. So we want to strive to achieve the best and be the best that we are. And guess what? Through others. Never ever think you'll do and achieve everything alone, gentlemen. No, it does not always happen like that. There's a reason why God put us together. There's a reason why there is this love each other, love one another, nurture each other. The relationship thing is there to stay. So we need to look into that. So we need to learn to stand our ground. Believe in who you are. Do what you want to do in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve in life. Okay? And do something about what is sitting in your mind, the dream that you have, the ideas that you have. Don't just sit with them. Because the next thing that happens is that you've got this dream, you've got this idea that you want to start a project, or you want to start a business, or you want to initiate a certain program within your community. And somebody else comes with the same idea. And guess what you say? Somebody stole my idea. Maybe Lou Allen told Sibeko that I want to do this thing. And now Sibeko is doing exactly the same thing out. God loves us so much that He has given us all the ability and the creativity. Until you tap that creativity in your mind, things will not happen. So you need to rise. You need to do something about it. We need to stand your ground. Okay? And if we do something about what the talent that God has given us, then that's when we start achieving the things that are ideal for us to achieve. So, from today, from this moment, all of you in here, all of us in here, we are going to emerge as PhD survivors. Pull him down does not exist. When somebody has an idea, when somebody seeks help, when somebody seeks advice, find a way of assisting that person. Even if you cannot assist the person, find a way of assisting this person. Now, we're here to share minds. So we are sharing minds now. Because the things that I'm going to share, some of them you know. All we're doing, we're just nurturing them. Okay? Now, we're talking about networking. What is it? If we had the half a day or the full day, I would actually allow for an opportunity for some of you to give your inputs as to your understanding of networking. But I suppose Ubaba Teles later on might just get you to into the idea of talking about this. But I just thought of this simple networking definition when we started having a conversation with Ms. Oliver about this topic, to say that networking is a lot like nutrition and fitness. We know what to do. The hard part is making it a top priority. We know we need to be healthy. We know we need to be fit. But the hard part is going to the gym, isn't it? The hard part is waking up in the morning and take that jog. So networking is an investment, not only in your business, but you're investing in yourself. But the most important thing above all is that you're also investing in others. Because through knowing and networking with other people, there is something in it for all of us. Okay? Sometimes we run with this thing called with him. What is in it for me? It's not about that all the time. What is in it for the next person? Because by the good things that you do for others, it's the good things that come to you. During coffee break, we had a very pleasant conversation about Uncle Ron. May his soul rest in peace. How a wonderful man and a legacy that he has left behind. So at what stage do we want to reach that stage? Hence, the theme of this conference and the theme of these engagements with men is legacy. So we need to learn to create legacy. And Mr. Lou, when I turned a very special age, I said, from now on, legacy in my lifetime. That's the legacy that we need to create, gentlemen. We must create legacy in our lifetime. Let us not wait until we're gone to say we've done the good things. Now, networking, as the word spells itself out, it requires work. That is why it is called networking. You need to work on it. If you want to be connected with other people, if you want to succeed, if you want to make a meaningful contribution, if you want to benefit from the relationships that you're creating, you need to work on it. You cannot just sit back and think that things will come your way. So it requires work. And work starts now. Okay? Now, The topic is the art of networking. Why did I use the word art in this rather than say networking? Art is the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination. God has given us amazing skills. We've got ways of doing things. How we communicate with others, how we present ourselves, how we bring up a topic, how we engage. That's an art. And network then is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop a professional social contacts. That's what we need. When we interact with others, we want to develop a relationship. And from that relationship, we want to exchange the information. And from the information that we're exchanging, we want to develop that contact. And once we've got the contact, then are we good to go? Right. Okay. So, the few things we're going to look at this morning, and after a few of these things that we're looking at, we are going to have a practical session. You're going to practice what I've just shared with you. Okay. We want to look at the purpose of networking. Why do we network? Okay. We look at the tools. How do you communicate? What is the technique? What is the tricks? Okay. How do you then put together that elevator speech to position yourself and make the next person hear who you are, right like that? Okay. And how do we use business cards for those of you that carry business cards? Okay. And maybe I'll touch on how do we also use technology. How do you send an e-card to the next person? And what do you do after receiving the e-card? That you contacts through WhatsApp or through SMS. Okay? Then we look at social media. Okay? But I want us to also touch on what networking is not, because that is very important. Okay? We no longer talk about socializing, we talk about networking. Okay? Then we'll talk about what is networking in real terms. Then business networking defined as to what is it in business and how can you then maximize on the skills and the few tips that you're going to receive this morning. Okay. Now, the purpose of networking, gentlemen, is to start that relationship where you will add value. Let me repeat. The purpose of networking is to start that relationship where you will add value. Because when you add value to the next person, then that person values you and they want to deal with you. They want to know you even better. They want to have a business dealing with you. They want to have a relationship with you, and they want to take this relationship to another level. The same way you do when you meet the mamas. Ne? The first proposal and, everything follows. Okay. So the true purpose of networking, events like this one we're having, is not to meet people, but to give you introductions to people to pursue, follow up. Okay. And that's what we call the prospects. We are all each other's prospects as we sit here, because there is something that I have that you need. There's something that you have that I need. And there is no way that I can succeed alone. So through the networks and through the contacts that I have, the network that I would have created, I'm able to achieve quite a lot. And more often than not, it's not just you alone, and through you, I'll have another contact on somebody else, and through somebody else, I'll have a contact with another person. So there is this network that is created, and we are able to deliver on what we want to achieve right there and then, without any sweat. Okay. So the golden rule. When you network, when you need somebody, it is not about you. It is not about you. It is about what is in it for the person that you are prospecting, because through this person you are able to achieve the things that you want to achieve in life. This is tricky. It is not about you, but it's about what is in it for your prospect, the person that you are meeting. Okay. So there are rules. Every game is played according to rules. Okay. And the rules are, interesting people are interested in others. If you're interested, certainly you will be interested in others. Okay? And all it takes is that you talk 20% and you listen 80%. Reason being that while I am listening to you, there is no way you're going to walk away from me. Because you are the one that is communicating, and I am trying to get information. My time is coming. I am first prospecting. I'm first catching up. This is my debate. This is my prospect. Okay? So the prospect would not be prospected. If I'm the one that is talking too much, it's easy. If I get bored and you're busy talking to me, I can pretend my phone is ringing, or I can think, oh, I've got to make this call. Or I can pretend that I need to talk to Mr. Oliver quickly, and I'll leave you standing. Okay? So, no pressure. Don't apply pressure at all. Once you've met somebody and you're interested in this person that you want to meet, and you want to know more from this person, be the one that is listening. I'll give you the other tactics. There are questions that you need to ask so that you get this person to tell you more. And once you've allowed that, this person feel important. They feel prospected. They feel that they really want to get closer to you. They really want to know you and figure out what is it that you've got to offer. Okay. Now, how do we then do this? Okay. How do you work your prospect? Okay. As I'm standing here, you are my prospects. A lot of you would like to hear more from me. A lot of you would like to hear something else that I've just shared with you. Because I am sharing with you. And you are listening attentively. Okay? Now, some of the things that we need to master is the eye contact. I'm telling you, I'm standing up here on the podium, on the stage, but I've got your eyes. And I look around, I can see right there. Right there. The same applies when you're talking to somebody, eyeball to eyeball, standing in front of each other. Eye contact. I know there's been this challenge, especially among us Africans, sharing about tellis. When you're speaking to an elderly person, you don't look them into the eye because it's taken as a sign of disrespect. But in business, and now, that's how it is. Even in school, the teacher would say, look me in the eye when they're talking to a learner. Because that says, I hear you, I see you, I am connected with you. Okay? The moment you start talking to somebody and it's uncomfortable to look into their eyes, then something is not right. You are not well in the good space. But the moment you try that, and you try it first time, second time, third time, eventually you get used to it. It gets so uncomfortable. But there are tricks once again. If you cannot look them in the eye, they're wearing the glasses, you look them there. If you cannot look them in the glass frame there, look at the hairline. Okay? Because of your eyes, they say you're looking at the person, and they feel that you are engaging them. I'm not talking to you while I'm looking onto the side because it says I'm not interested. Okay? When you do the introductions, very important. Okay? Mr. Oliver, may I ask you to come over here, okay, and bring the sanitizer. Okay, come over here. Okay, and when you do the introductions, it's very important. Sometimes we miss on the opportunity and you find yourself having to kick yourself as to, why did I miss this? You don't just say, I am Victor. You're missing out something. You say, I am Victor, and then I can ask you, so what? Okay? But when I say, sanitize. But when I say, Mr. Oliver, good morning, my name is Victor, and you are?
Llewellyn.
Great. You see now? Okay, let's do it again. Good morning, say, my name is Victor Sibego, and you are?
Llewellyn Oliver.
Great. Yes, you see now, did you see what happened? Thank you, sir. I introduced myself, I told him my name and surname, and I asked him his name. Because the danger is, you meet somebody, hi, my name is Victor Sibego. Oh, okay, thank you, pleased to meet you. The person has not given you their name. You don't know them, and you're going to battle. And now you come this part that is very uncomfortable. You go to someone else, hey, I met this gentleman. What is his name, by the way? You don't know the name. And that's the person that you really wanted to create a contact with. So that's trick number one, gentlemen. When you meet somebody, number two, eye contact. Secondly, introduce yourself and ask the person, who is that person? Okay? Second question, so that you get to know this person better. What line of business are you in? Because you want to know this person. What are they all about? What are they doing? Okay? What line of business are you in? Now you get to start getting ideas. Okay, this person is this business. I may need this person for my own contact, or I may need this person for my friend's contact, or my brother's contact, or someone else's contact, because you are creating a network. Okay? The second question would be, who do you work for? Now, notice these are open-ended questions. They allow the person to flow and to talk. And the more they talk and the more they give information to you, the more you get information and the more you get insights. And you start building in questions and opportunities that you may tap in, okay, in terms of what you can offer the person as services, or what you can get someone else to offer the service or recommend somebody, okay? And then the follow-up questions automatically come up. Now, as you do that, you must prepare yourself a quick 10-second answer, which is the elevator speech. We will be getting to that. How do you then sell yourself and give this person a wow? Remember, you've just asked them generic questions about who they are, what they do, who they work for, and you can build more questions that are very open-ended so that you get to know this person more, okay? Now, here is an opportunity, a network opportunity. We all here, okay? You cannot talk to everybody at an event at the same time, but try and identify 2 or 3 key people that you want to meet, or just one person that you want to meet. Hence, the importance, gentlemen, of attending conferences and events and master classes here. And once you're here, don't always talk to the person that you know that you came with. Talk to someone who they have not met before. And even when you sit, don't sit with your buddy. Go and sit with someone else you don't know. Let your buddy sit there. You know your buddy. You come from the same hood. Okay? So work your prospect. Find the person that you really want to meet. Okay? Make eye contact. We spoke about this. Very important. It says I'm interested in who you are and what you're doing. Okay? Then the introductions must be very warm. Okay? You saw the warmth and the respect. Morning, sir. My name is Victor Sibeko, and you are. Okay? And capitalize on the opportunity. The opportunity that you have to meet this person. You're showing interest. Look in the eye, shake the hand, introduce yourself, find out who they are, because they feel, oh, wow, he did not just introduce himself. He also wanted to know who am I. Okay? 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 We spoke about ask what line of business you're in. Okay? Who do you work for? And make the follow-up questions. Okay? Those are the key points that you need to master when it comes to networking. Okay? Be ready. Okay? Be ready with that elevator speech. Okay? And as you engage the person, start framing, start putting together how you're going to introduce yourself. Because all you need, out of the 80% that he's given you, your prospect has given you, you're preparing 20% sucker punch. You're going to hit the person with the one punch, and they will be interested in you in return. Okay? So, when you ask questions, okay, you invest time in the person that you're talking to or in your prospect. Okay? You ask the feel-good, open-ended question. Okay? Like, how long have you been in business? Yeah? Oh, they'll tell you, oh, I've been running this business for so many years. Okay? What significant changes have you seen in the line of business that you're in? Okay? And is this your profession or just passion? You know, and you making a person open up. No, I just love what I do. You know, more than anything. You know, I'm just passionate about this business. I'm just passionate about this project. Okay, what do you see as the latest trends? You want to find out. In the midst of all the things that are happening, what do you see as the latest trends? What are the changes? How these changes affect your business or the project you're working on or your life in general? Okay, okay. If you're employed, what do you do and who do you work for? What have you seen, the changes in what you do? What plans have you got to sustain, to continue in that job or in that position or in running that business going forward? Okay? And what ways have you found to be most effective for promoting your business or your career? Okay. Now, you're saying to this person, are you studying? Are you doing anything on the side? Are you investing in starting your own? Or you want to do something different? Or you want to jump ship and start your own business? Okay? And then, what one sentence would you like people to use in describing the way you do business with, okay? Or you do work? So you ask the person, you're putting them on the spot, but you're allowing them to be free and to speak their mind and to get to know them quite better. Okay? Now, 2 things happened during the time when you're having this conversation. One, you have showed you have shown yourself to be different from other people that will just meet a person. Because all other people, gentlemen, that meet others, other than you, will just do a simple thing, introduction, that's it. But you are different from today because you know what to do. Okay. So you are now going to distinguish yourself, totally different from others. Okay. You have given the prospect an opportunity to tell you how you can assist them, because by just listening to them, you've given them ideas. You've asked them how long they've been in business, what are the new trends, how do they see themselves doing business in the future, or what is it that they can they can say has stood up for them. Okay, so ask for their contacts. Okay, only give yours if it is asked. Okay, by the prospect. This might sound a bit tricky to a lot of people. It is important to ask for your prospect's contacts because remember, you are the one interested in the prospect. Okay? Ask for their contacts. And if they ask for your contacts, take them. But I'll tell you why. Simple thing. Let's take business cards for an example, which I will talk about. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let me just cover it same time. If I meet someone and I ask for Mr. Oliver's contacts, he gives me the contacts, I take the contacts, I'm going to do something with his contacts because I'm the only one who has the contacts. I have to reach out. Okay? But if I take his contact, I take Mr. Oliver's contact and I give him my contact and I sit, I'll wait, maybe he'll contact me or maybe I will contact him. But if I'm the one who has the contact, I'm the one ready looking at creating a network and a relationship. So I'm going to do something about it, and we'll cover that quickly now. Okay. So the tools that you need to succeed in networking, gentlemen, is communication, okay, elevator speech, which we'll touch on, and then we go into an exercise. Business cards, if you have business cards, and if you don't have business cards, then you use electronic e-card. Okay. If you have a smartphone, the phones are now the best tools that we have. Okay. Carry a notepad. See, I've got props here. Okay. Carry a notepad and carry a pen. Very important. When you come to meeting, I see some of you are here. Gentlemen, I know phones are here. I can forgive you partly, but I was expecting to see you with a notepad and a pen. Okay? I know cell phones are doing wonders. You can also do screen grabs now. Okay. All right. And a pen. Social media. Use social media. Within social media space, there's so much. But for you, gentlemen, I would like you to consider LinkedIn because that's where you meet the people that are in the same career or same interest, share the same interest. Okay. How do you handle business cards? Okay. If you have a business card, please try and design it like, nice design. Okay. And how you carry business cards? Again, I've got a prop here. Got a business card holder. Carry a business card holder. Carry a business card holder, put the business card in here. When I give you a business card, I'm going to pull this out, I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to pull the business card from here and give it to you. What does it say to your prospects? Oh, professional. Smart. I'm not going to look for a business card in my top jacket pocket and on the side and on the back. Then suddenly I pull up business cards that are creased and dirty. They've been rubbing each other, and I've got it mixed with other cards. I don't know which one to give it to you. I end up taking somebody's card and scratching the front and writing my details at the person's back card. That is unprofessional. Okay? And how do you hand out business cards? Mr. Oliver, once again, please come over the side and show you how do we do that. And I think Mr. Buthelezi know by now as well. Okay, right. And how do you receive business cards? Okay, and how do you store these business cards? Okay. If I were to, Mr. Buthelezi knows this. Mr. Buthelezi, may I ask you to come over here quickly? Okay. If I were to ask you to give me a business card, or we are meeting for the first time, and when I give you a business card, I'm certainly going to pull it out from my business card holder. Okay? It's going to be a very interesting one here. Okay. Sheng. Okay, thank you. Okay. Great. Sheng, over here, Sheng. You're going to pull out a business card from your business card holder, and you're going to hand it over to Mr. Okay, face this way so that the gentleman can see you. Okay. Get closer, Mr. Oliver. Great. Okay. He's pulling out a business card holder. Okay? He pulls the card, he puts the holder back, he looks at the card to make sure that that is his business card. Okay? Then he turns the card around to face the person receiving the card. Okay? He hands over. Mr. Oliver is receiving the cards with both hands. Respect. He looks at the card, and then he calls out the name. Oh, Sbu Shenge. Oh, is that you? Then he shakes his hand. Then he's pronounced the name right. And then he thanks him. Then Mr. Oliver takes the card. He puts it back into the business card holder. Okay? He puts it back into the business card holder, but he does not put it in front of the cards. He puts it at the back of the cards. Okay? Then he folds it in, he puts it back. That's etiquette, gentlemen. And that's how you hand over. And by so doing, your prospect is wowed. They say, yes, look, I'm interested in this person. This person is amazing. That's how you handle business cards if you use business cards. Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. That's how you handle business cards. So, gentlemen, print business cards, even for your own personal use. Yes, I know we've got technology on our side. I know we've got cell phones where we could send each other electronic cards. If you do send someone an electronic e-card or e-card, you've got to find a way of dealing with that. Okay, now I've got the business card. I'm going home. I'm going to take this business card and I'm going to write the date on the business card where I met this Mr. Oliver. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do within 24 hours, that's my policy. I will then write you an email to say, thank you for, dear sir, it was a pleasure meeting you at the Legacy, at the Crystal Church, at the networking session. Okay. It was a pleasure, pleasure meeting you. I look forward to establishing contact and a meeting to make a follow-up on our conversation. Now, because you've sent an email, what does an email do? It saves those details. Even if you're to lose the card, but you've already established contact with your prospect. Okay? Consistently follow up with the person that you met, okay, via email. If there's some interesting things that you pick up that are within this person's business or within your career, we'll share this information. Okay. Be consistent, but not boring. Okay, I'm always there for the exercise. All right. Okay, so the elevator speech, gentlemen, let's go into it, then we go into an exercise. Okay, an elevator speech is a brief description of what you do and who you do it for. What do you do and who you do it for? Are you employed or you're self-employed? Or you run your own business? Okay, it describes how you offer value. What are the benefits and the quality to your client? That's the elevator speech. And this is an example. Imagine a person who sells insurance and a financial planner. If I was in that space, back in the days when I was with Transnet, I was not selling insurance as such, but we were assisting employees with financial planning. Is that I would say, when I introduce myself, hi, my name is Victor Sibeko. I help families save money so that their children can go to university and they can retire and enjoy their retirement. That's how I introduced myself. And this man would say, wow, I thought I knew much. Now, I have a little business called Powerhouse Boutique. When I introduce myself and people ask, what is that you do? I say, I help women look beautiful. Yeah. That's my elevator speech. Oh, how so? Now the person is interested in knowing how do I do that, okay? If I'm a business coach like Mr. Lou, this one is for you, okay? He says, I help you get more clients than you know what to do with. Okay? Okay. And here's my favorite. If I worked for SARS, I would say, I'm a government fundraiser because that's definitely what that you do. You're raising funds for the government, okay? So with your businesses and with who you are, you need to start practicing what is your elevator speech because you are going to get an opportunity now to do a quick, fast-track networking. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, networking is not handing out business cards or anyone that will accept it. You do not give a business card unless a person asks for it. I know it sounds a bit weird. If you just give business cards, when I get home, I say, but whose business card is this? Where did I meet this person? Ends up in file 13 in the bin. Okay? And networking is not creating a list of people to call. Cold calling. Hi, I just called. You know those boring calls, eh? Hey, hi, my name is so-and-so. I just called to say to sell you. We've got a cell phone special or whatever special. Cold calling. Sorry, I'm not interested. I don't know who you are, so how do I create that relationship? Okay? Networking is not putting everyone who has given you a card on an electronic mailing list. People do that. They collect cards and they put them together. They start collecting these cards and they start calling people like that. It's boring. Okay? Networking is not introducing yourself and not exploring business relationship. When you introduce yourself to somebody, interest. There's something that you in it for you. Okay? And prospecting to get the leads. Right. So networking, ladies and gentlemen, is developing mutual, beneficial, win-win relationship with others. Secondly, giving. That is pure and simple. You're giving yourself, you're giving time, you're giving your ability, the expertise, and you're going to also give other contacts that will assist the person that you've just met. Okay? And networking is relationship building with the intent to eventually share referrals. Because through you, I know someone. And someone knows someone. You know, another, okay? And networking is promoting you, yourself, and your good reputation. You know, when people know who you are, they're interested, and they really want to know you more and have some dealings with you. So for today's purpose, we're going to go into an exercise, okay? It's a fast-track networking. And I refer to this as the process of establishing a mutual beneficial relationship with other people and potential clients and or customers or even friends. Now, you're going to go into a speed networking exercise. Now, there's just a few of us here. Maybe we can just do two groups. Let me see. We're going to do two groups. You can gather maybe that side, others this side. And I want you to introduce yourselves, making use of these examples that I've used, the tools or the techniques that I've shared with you. And after introducing yourself, give that elevator, ask those questions, okay? Who do you work for? And I can go back to those questions for a quick reminder. And after asking that question, then hit them with an elevator speech, okay? Okay, try and work out and start framing your elevator speech. And from there, yeah, you can exchange, well, you know each other, exchange contacts and the works. But let's do that quick exercise, and I'll give you these quick, easy questions to ask so that you, yes, okay. All right, you can do a screen grab of this. And how much time do we give for this? 10 minutes, no? Okay. In fact, I would like to do it this way. Let's do 4 groups. Let's do 4 groups. And after 4 groups for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, okay? No, two groups. Let's do 2 groups, 5 minutes, and then from there we swap. From the groups, you mix. You just mix and go to another group and see who you have not met in the other group and just do that exercise. And then when we come back, we're going to share our experiences, and then we'll hand over to Ushenge to facilitate the interaction and benefits. Okay, great. 6-6, yes. Yeah, 6-6, and then we do this exercise. And for those at home, you can also do your own exercise. Find out who you can engage with. Ask somebody even at home, making use of the few questions that we've asked. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Slide 21. Slide 21. Okay. Now you're meeting each other there, and then in 5 minutes' time, you're just going to take three and swap groups. Yeah. And see who you have not met. Okay, gentlemen, can we have can we have the three come over to meet the other three this side? Okay, the three to meet the three this side. The three this side go that side. Okay, three this side and three meets the other three inside. Yeah. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. Okay, the time starts now. Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's stop it right there. May I ask you to all come here on the stage. All stand here, okay? Obviously, social distancing. And it's time for reflections. Let's do the reflections, the slide on reflections. Okay. Reflections, reflections, reflections. How has it been? How has it been? How was it? Okay, you've known each other for a while, but today you managed to know each other beyond the normal knowing each other relationships, superficial. Okay, right. Anyone would like to share what came out, what stood out for you?
So
protocol, safety. Okay, there you go.
all right. So I met the gentleman over here, Kang. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Kang, yeah. So I met Kang, and we were speaking. I employed the tactics that we've now, recently acquired, and so I asked him his name. We made eye contact, and then I also came to find out that he's involved in real estate, and he's also involved in maintenance as far as residential property is concerned. And so while he was speaking, in the back of my mind, I am trying to see where somehow I can connect with him on some level, or somebody that I know that may be looking for property or looking for maintenance opportunities. And so, yeah, that was my experience.
Great, you just giving me goosebumps. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know maintenance, you know somebody's looking for a house, somebody wants to sell a house, somebody wants to rent property. There we go, network created. There you go, all right? More reflections, please come over here, sir, so that you can share with others watching from home.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I had an interesting conversation with one of the guys, Bongi, and for me it's when you're in a 8 to 5 job, you're working for a company, you're quite comfortable, and Bongi was talking about where is in advertising, and that is where I am at the moment. I need to get out there, get it extra for your family, like you explained. That don't just sit there. Don't just think that you can that you're comfortable where you are. Get out there, do something, and that is where I am. I need to get out there and do something. And what Bongi said that they help people, to get out of their comfort zone and do something that you can actually grow on. So I think that is where I need to step out and just go do it.
Wow, great. No, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's take another share. One person would like to share. Thank you so much. Okay, let's do this. Summer do this. I'm being brutal here. We'll do presentation skills and public speaking one day. You hold your mic, say like yes, sir. You keep it here. Then it's easy for you even when you move around. Like you're quite an artist, yeah. All right. Okay. Yo.
Thank you
sir.
very much. I've met Llewellyn here, and he told me. I asked him what his name was. I asked him his name. He told. In fact, he told me his name, everything about himself, what he's doing, and I also introduced myself to him. So, networking is very important. He told me, and he's in that business. So, skipping, I had this guy is also dealing with real estate, and I'm interested in farming.
Okay.
So, vacant land, maybe something like that, which is what I'm interested in. And I'm also interested in food from the start, making food, farming, and bringing up everything from the start.
Okay. Now, thanks so much. All right. I think in the interest of time, if there's any other volunteer that would like to voluntarily share. Okay. There's another one. I like it. I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Thank you, sir. So I just want to say that what has been interesting with this exercise is the ability to assess and actually to define the needs of what someone else needs.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I think in that is where you start to then see what value you can add. As you mentioned, networking is not about what you can get out of it, but it's what value you can add.
Yes.
And I'm also inspired through this because I met a gentleman by the name of Thabo. And, Thabo within the pandemic was able to transition. And he started a program where, because the school curriculum has been so highly affected by the pandemic, he's trying to bridge it with using 4IR and catering to some schools that does not have technology to support the educational frameworks.
Wow.
And that's what he was able to do in the 2 years
Sure.
since the pandemic. And when you're speaking to some people like that, you just have to start asking yourself the question, "Uzoyithola kanjani ma uhleli ukhona?"
Absolutely. The untold stories, heroes. Yeah? Okay. If any other volunteer would like to share the experiences? Okay. All right. And then we'll.
Good
Yeah.
morning. I don't know which side.
Great. We did well there. Okay.
Yeah, so I spoke to good gentlemen, and one of the things you pointed out, Bawa, is that it's not always, you won't always meet someone for business. You meet someone for a relationship, just because the two guys I spoke to, one spoke about business, one spoke about their personal lives.
Yes.
So it's like, as in how the setting is at home. Then now we're talking about that. So then we add value, you get to know, some people are actually going through such, so you learn from that quickly. Just in the few minutes, you've gotten a lot of insight on stuff that you did not know with you. There's actually such situations, So I'm really thankful for this.
Great. All right. Now, thanks, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for yourselves. You may be seated. I think we've got about just 10 minutes to wrap up. And it's been a very interesting morning. Okay. It's all sanitized and occupy our seats. All right, now that I'm safe and all by myself, and others are safe too. All right, so towards the end of this thing. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen. Oh yeah, no, I must respect the ladies. There is a lady here. All right, lady and gentleman, and those at home. We had a very interesting exercise here. Okay, so in conclusion, gentlemen, is that networking is a socio-economic activity by which groups of like-minded people recognize, create, and act upon opportunities. You've said it yourself. It was not only about business, but it was also about who are you employed with. It's also about personal stories, where you at, and it's also about community or society where you come from. Okay, this is the time and this is the moment to seize the moment. Okay, in French they say carpe diem. Make the most of the present time and give little thought to the future. So we need to create, this is legacy, Mr. Oliver, now. Let's create legacy now. Let's make the most of this opportunity that we've been afforded by Crystal Church through this masterclass. Okay, you can do it, okay? The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just a little extra. Just a little extra. Now, you've learned just a little extra, and you can do just a little extra for you to get to where you would like to be. We are never, ever comfortable, and I like what the gentleman said, that he's been always looking for opportunities or for something else to do. It's amazing how we survive. Some of us are employed, we pull a salary, but over and above being employed and pulling a salary, it's important to have a side hustle. And through such structures, you're able to pick up that side hustle. I mean, you may say I'm crazy. I mean, I started my business in 1995, but to date, I sometimes lose count of how many businesses do I have. From boutique to travel, to audiovisual equipment, to consulting, to training, to facilitation, and all these things. But they're good, because as I get it on and I go into side hustle, I network, I get other people, I pull them in, because that's what I am. If you come to me and ask me to employ you in one of my businesses, I'll tell you one thing. I'll ask you, do you like it? Yes. You like it? Yes. I'll mentor you. Start yours. We need to create employers, not employees, gentlemen. I'll mentor you to start yours. Don't work for me. No. You can work for me just to experience. But as you do that, run yours on the side. And once you're ready to run, then you can step up and run on your own. That's the spirit. Okay? Food for thought before we close. Before I hand over to Mr. Telezi to just sum everything up, I like the quote by Zig Ziglar. He says, I quote, "You can get everything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want," unquote. That's networking. That's networking at its best. We can only get everything we want in life if we help others, because through others we are able to achieve the things that we would like to achieve in life. So that's what life is all about. It's about being there. It's about being part of the formula of making life is a very precious and a successful thing that we have. From me to you, from the bottom of my heart, and the love I share with Legacy, with Crystal Church, and the passion I have for Legacy, I would like to thank you, Mr. Oliver. I'll hand over to you as a program director, then you can lead us to the end of the program. It's been a pleasant morning, and I really enjoyed being here. It just brings the bright spark in me, being with people, because I just love giving and giving all the time. I give and I give and I give, because I know one day I will be rewarded. And it's not only through earthly rewards that I'll get, but I'll get the biggest rewards from the Almighty. Thank you so much, Mr. Oliver.
Thank you very much, my dear friend. The person I'm proud to say, that I'm proud to call my big brother, I thank you so much for your time. We value it. We value you. Ladies and gentlemen, lady and gentlemen, once again, a round of applause for Mr. Victor Sibeko. I'm going to ask my brother Bongi Nkosi Buthelezi to come and join us on stage. And if you've got questions, this is the time to get it answered. If you're watching us on social media, if you're on Facebook, won't you drop any questions you have right now on Facebook? Then we will try our best to get to you. We've got a few minutes for questions and answers. Bongi, over to you.
Oh, a round of applause for me. What's happening, guys? This is the part, yeah. Mr. Sibeko, once again, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence and for the wonderful lecture that we had this morning. Mine is an easy task. I've just learned so much today from you. It's never about you, it's never about your business, it's about adding value in the other person's business, in the prospect's business. Now, Babu Sibeko, let's make sure you have your mic ready and we can take it from there. Guys, gentlemen, if you have questions, you'll just show by raising your hand, and I'm going to ask you to come up stage to ask your questions so that we facilitate this and move quickly. To everybody watching us, joining us through our live stream, feel free to send your message. We'll be able to read your question here. One thing I've learned today is God's answer demands your action. Yeah. You can pray and fast 40 days and 40 nights. Yeah, it doesn't matter, go all the way. Things don't just happen. People need to work. Faith without works, I mean, it's there. It's all biblical as I can see it. Mr. Sibeko, my first question, I'm just thinking now that you're going to meet the person and you're going to follow up and you're going to meet. Once you have that meeting, are you selling what you've achieved to the person, or you are telling them about your passion going forward? I don't know if you understand my question. So once we get the opportunity to sit and discuss, one thing I want to know, during that, do you want me, am I supposed to start sharing my achievements or my passion? What's more important at that point in time? Yebo.
Thank you. Very interesting question. I would say you're sharing your passion and what you want to achieve. Because telling you about what I've achieved, what I've done, it looks like I'm boasting. Yeah. And that is a turn off. Okay. Say, I see what you're doing, I like what you're doing, but looking forward, this is where I want to be. Even on my follow-up meeting with you, I will set up an agenda. The agenda will have pointers such as, I would like to achieve this. How do I get there? and these are my ideals, and this is my vision. You set yourself strategic objectives. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Spego, for that. I think it's clear at home to everybody and to you, gentlemen. Zex, you've got a question. Please come up and just share that question with us. Thank
Yes,
you.
Mr. Tibeko, my question is financially structured in such a way that I meet you and I explain to you, okay, this is what I do. I'm a public speaker. And for example, my rate, let's say you run a school and you say, okay, I want you to come speak to my students at an assembly. And my rate is, for example, 5,000 Rand. And where does the financial aspect come in when we speak about being able to first give and build that relationship, or do you go in and charge from the beginning when you're trying to establish a relationship? And I always find that tricky. Personally, I've had that before, and I always try and navigate my way around that element. How would you approach that?
Wow, good one. Very tricky one, but remember, it's all about the relationship. If you go and speak at a school or go speak here, for an example, this is my second time speaking at the Legacy Man, and at no charge. It's all about creating a relationship first. And if you are going to charge, be very reasonable, be very, I want to say, be understanding that you need to introduce yourself. There is no way you can come in and all of a sudden you want to charge 10,000, 5,000 rands. Maybe you would say, I'll come and speak. I do charge a fee, but for this instance, I'll leave it up to you to consider a token of appreciation. Then you make it easier for the person to say, okay, we'll come through. Maybe they might get you a 2,000 rands gift voucher, you know, or they might buy you a goodie, get you a goodie bag. That is, but then what you have done, you've touched the hearts. For the next events and others that are running events, you will be recommended. And it's also important to look at your cost structure. Other people's, okay, let's get this clear. You do not have to sell yourself cheap or give yourself mahala too much because you then taken lightly. Quality first, then the rest follows. So giving your services is important, and then leave it up to your client to determine what token of appreciation they want. Then once you're established, then you can start charging what you charge. Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks, X, for your question. We've got Mr. Oliphant. Undlo, Vukachen. Where are we at? With your question, please. Thank you, sir.
Morning, sir.
A husband, a father. Thank you so much. Thank you. Much better. You know, as I said, as a man working a job 8 to 5 every day, you know, working for a company. My question to you is, even for most of the gentlemen out there, how do you start? You know, I had a side hustle about 2 years ago, and you know, COVID happened, and I just stopped going, you know, going on with it. But how do you start? Where do you start? You know, to get it extra. It just said that, you know, we have to step out there. So how do I start? You know, as a man, just having your normal job, you know, getting that extra hustle, that extra income for your family as well. Where do you start?
Okay. I'd like to start with the phrase, follow your passion, follow your heart. What is it that tickles your fancy? And through these networks now that you've created, you may have picked up somebody who's doing something that you like the most. But then you want to find out, how can I get into that space? I'm also looking for something to do, but it must be something that falls within the framework and within your passion, something that you like the most. Because if you do something that you like, nobody's going to stop you from doing that. So look at opportunities and look at something that when you start also consider being mentored. You grow so that you run your own. If you say how do you start in working with a person like me, I'll tell you how do you start, I'll tell you how to start. I'll bring you on board, But in the meantime, I'll push you to register your own and be compliant. Once you're ready to run, and I'll hold your hand, and when you're running, like I'll say, let go. But I'll always be there to guide you. So just follow your passion and look at opportunities. Okay. I know it might be a bit too broad, but we can even have a conversation after this session. All right.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure,
Thank
sir.
you.
Asbong, we're moving right along. Tabo, ready with the question?
1, 2.
Thank you.
Okay.
And to everybody at home, feel free to keep sending those questions and then we'll be able to read them from here. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. My question is based on I grew up looking at up to like leaders or icons and stuff like that. And most of them, the advice that they give, or not all of them, is that fake it till you make it. You know, so like for example, how do you, let's say for example, you buy yourself a suit, like you must look professional and stuff like that, and you go to a meeting that you're not even invited or a workshop, and you walk in, and I'm wearing a suit and I look like everyone that is there. And then where we networking, you find that you don't want to lie and you don't want to like lose your integrity and your reputation. But at the same time, you want to network so that you can make it as well. So how do you go about without, messing up? Because you could give me your information and stuff like that, and you find that I'm not even anything, or a businessman or a profession, but I want to get there.
Yeah. As a Christian man, I'm going to be very blunt. Faking it may not work.
Yeah.
You have to be honest.
Okay.
Back to basics, be realistic. Say who you are and what you believe in and what you want in life.
Yeah.
And if it means you talking to the real the people that are there, or one or two of them on the sideline, and tell them who you are and what you'd like to achieve, get somebody to hold your hand and mentor and coach you. Because faking, you'll fake forever. You'll buy suits all the time. You'll spend money going to conferences, and you may not make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no, don't fake it. Yeah, don't fake it. I'm not going to say don't fake it too much. Don't fake it.
Yes.
That's what it is. Otherwise, you won't get anywhere. Yeah. Anyway, we also have Xavier with his question over here. Zix. Sure.
Thanks, Bongs. Hi. So my question is, okay, I'm a financial advisor as well. So when you touched on that point, it was like, I'm here. But my question is, how do I approach people of color that do not want to talk about finances? Because we know, I grew up in a family where my father was able to at least talk to me about finances, but a lot of the clients that I have point blank refuse to talk about finances or hide their finances. How do I approach it, and how do I assist them to the best of my ability? That's my question.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Now, this is more consulting, Mr. Oliver. Number one, I would say, do you have a registered, legit business?
Yeah.
Okay. And now, if you have that, do you have any relationship or MOUs with the big five, your Sanlams and Liberties and
So
Allen Grays and the works?
I am with Liberty. So
Okay.
we are advisors, but we sort of run our own practice. We have a manager that we report to, but we run everything ourselves.
Okay. So certainly you should have your profile.
100%.
And your profile and your business cards and everything else. So you shouldn't doubt yourself then. Much as you say people of color may not want to engage you and show you their finances. So if that one market is not open for you, find another market. Okay. Find another market and can focus on that. And here's an opportunity right now. Speaking of finance, financial advisor, Mr. Oliver, an opportunity to have another session, bring in financial advisors. We can come in and talk about retirement planning, investment, insurances, cleaning up the mess, because some of us have got 5 funeral covers, 3 retirement annuities, and everything is in a mess. There's an opportunity for you to do that pep talk on that, and thereafter allow for sessions.
Okay.
And when you allow for a session, somebody has to sign a disclosure letter, and then you clean up the profiles and they work. You also assist with one very important thing that people mess up, and we don't do right, the wills.
100%.
Very important. People are in trouble because of that. So an opportunity exists here through networking. Okay?
Thank you so
Pleasure,
much.
sir.
Thank you, Xavier. Yeah, just a follow-up question on what Xavier was asking about. I'm just thinking, especially is in finance, for racial reasons and other reasons. Sometimes people of color or certain people cannot be trusted basically because of their looks. How do you go about tapping into that? Do you pursue the relationship even when you feel that person is uneasy with you? Or where do you draw the line? Or if you see you're not welcome there, just go.
I would say for a moment, sometimes be very aggressive, remove color in it, put profession first, the end product, service you offer. Say, take part in conferences, investment conferences, take part in radio talk shows, and take part in television interviews. If you need help with that, we can assist you. We can connect you with the business talk shows on various radio stations, on television, on TV as well. When people start seeing you in those platforms, the integrity rises above everything else, and remove color. Okay.
That's one. Thank you. Thank you very much. We also have Dikhang. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much.
It's good that you're standing there. You're too tall, so if you're standing next to me, you'll threaten me. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Smeko, for a wonderful presentation earlier on. You touched on presentation skills. I'm just curious about it. Perhaps next time when you come here to do those, I'll be here.
Well, I'll leave that up to Mr. Oliver, who coordinates this thing. It's not my call. I was just mentioning that it's important for us to know how to do that, because I do a master class on public speaking and presentation skills, what goes into that. So I'll leave it up to the powers that be to decide and put in the program.
Okay. Perhaps I could speak to you privately about that.
Most definitely, sir.
Thank you.
That's the power of networking.
All right. Thank you.
Right there.
But my question is on mentoring. Do you also do mentoring for people who are in the property business, especially on the brokering side? I tell you what, as a property development consultant, at times I have clients who need investment or capital for their developments, and I have to broker deals in that space. So do you also do mentoring on that?
No, unfortunately, that's not my forte, that's not my expertise in property, but all I do is the basic mentoring and coaching. What does it take to be a mentor? What does it take to be a coach? The relationship that is established, the mentee, the mentor, the outcomes, and how it is then programmed until the end. So there we'll have to get you a person in the property business to mentor in that respect. But that person will have to understand what I've just spoken about. Because sometimes mentoring and coaching and mentorship is being messed up big time, and people end up not getting what they want from that. When you get into a mentorship program, there is a relationship that we create. You're a mentee, I'm the mentor. What is it that you want to learn? You must outline the things you want to learn, and then we go through, we set ourselves timelines, say in 3 months' time, you must have learned this, and I will hold your hand, we go to meetings, we have an investment meeting or so, you run, and the mentor is sitting behind, it's looking at you and how you run these things. So we'll have to get to somebody in that space to mentor you, but I'm not an expert in property, I must say that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Men and lady, gentlemen and the lady, thank you very much, Mr. Smeko, for your time. Thank you so much for being able to answer the questions and give clarity where it was needed. I think this is not the end of it, but I'm going to call upon Uluwelin coming here to end it up nicely. Thank you for making my way and my job easier on stage. You know, let me close by saying this one from an anonymous friend of mine. Just appreciate the fact that he's a friend of mine. Mr. Smeko, this gentleman is saying, networking is like a fishing line, where the fishing rod is you. The intro is the hook. Networking introduction is the bait. Establishing a follow connection via communication, business card, is the rail. Pulling in slowly is the reel. elevator pitch is the catch. Well put again. Let's give Mr. Smeko a round of applause. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Sibeko. Thank you, my brother, Mr. Buthelezi, for facilitating the Q&A. And a big thank you to every legacy man who has joined us today, whether online or in the auditorium. We value you. We are legacy. We are real men. We live in a real world, and we serve a real God. Gentlemen, I am so excited. I'm literally, if I could jump, you know what, I'm so excited. If you know what is coming for you in September, you'll understand why I'm excited right now. Some of these questions are leading us to the 18th of September, and I want to encourage you, bring friends, don't miss Masterclass 3. We're going to be talking about positioning yourself for success. In our first Masterclass, we spoke about online tools. In our second masterclass, we had one of South Africa's brightest and greatest minds in communication and strategy talk to us about the art of networking. At our next one, we're going higher, we're going to the next level because it's about your legacy. What is legacy, and how do I position myself for success so that, like my brother Victor said, we want to see legacy in our lifetimes. It shouldn't just be for once we're gone. We don't want people to only talk good about us when we're not here to hear it. We want to live and deliver that legacy, and we want to share it now. So we're going to be talking about positioning yourself now for success in our next one. Don't miss it. Once again, thank you so much. We've come to the end of the program. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined us online. Thank you so much once again, gentlemen, for being here. Thank you to Dr. Carl. Thank you to Pastor Joan for affording us this opportunity and giving us this platform to grow, to share what God has placed inside of us. And to my brothers, I just want to encourage you, you know, if 2 years ago, you would have never got me on stage. But because, you know, I decided to step out of my comfort zone. That is where the magic happens. That is where you now have to actually put the action. You've got to take that action like Victor was saying. Put action to what you've learned today. Put yourself out there. Put yourself in a vulnerable space where you can actually network and put this into practice. And see, you will make mistakes, but you learn from those mistakes. It's about how many times you get up once you fall, how many times you learn from those mistakes. That's going to set you on the course for success. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. May God continue to bless you. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning, right back here at the Crystal Auditorium, 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. God bless you, and thank you for joining us.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. I trust that you enjoyed God's word today. Surely a life-changing word. I would love you, please, if you need more information about Crystal Church, be so kind just to hit us on our website. You'll gain more information. Please phone the office or go out of your way just to get in touch with us. Otherwise, we have 3 services, one at 9 on the Sunday, one at 10:30, and our third service on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. See you soon. You take care.